there, YouTube land. It's Rob the History Smith here with another video for you guys. I think you're going to like this one. This will be a bit of a detailed look at a firearm that we just saw in a previous video. So let's have a look and see what we got. The first little view, you're going to see something kind of interesting. Doesn't look like much, does it? It's just a stock. I put a little sticker on there, and I put a sticker on the other side. Some of you guys will probably recognize this. If you don't, if you haven't seen this rifle before, it's an oldie but a goodie, and I love it. So what's the trick to this one? You gotta get the back off. Yeah. Alright. Back comes off there. The butt pad. And then you have a magazine. A barrel. Ooh, camo too. And you have a receiver with a magazine already stored in it. Magazine release. Hard to do the wrong way. Empty, guys. Got a little charging handle here that comes out. You can actually, if you want to see it's empty, you can look right down there. You can see that's the, let me grab this. That's the bolt face right there. So this, you know, this is empty. So how does this work? It's a takedown rifle. It's a survival rifle. You'll see there's a notch in there. There's a notch there. Locks in place. Just tighten down the barrel nut. No special tools required. No tools at all required, actually. There you go. And then your stock slides on like so. And there's a little screw thing on the back. Now for this demonstration purpose, I'm going to go light on this. I found that this screw can get quite tight and hard to remove if you snug it up too much. So in this case, I'm just doing it hand tight. We'll get the dummy rounds. There we go. Pull your little charging handle. That's all. You have safety here. Forward is fire. Won't go into safety unless there's a round in there. There you go. Safety on. And fire. Magazine release right here in the trigger well. There you go. Magazine comes out. So, what is this? This is technically the Henry Survival Rifle. You guys probably seen online. You can get them in black. I don't know what other colors. This was just really cool for an extra like $10 or $20. I don't have anything really in camo, so I got this. So what's it designed for? You can actually see kind of something interesting. The stock is actually offset to the rifle itself. That has to do with storage. Also has to do with just getting the rifle right into your eye as comfortable as possible. So this was designed back in the 50s by your American hero, John Stoner. The exact same John Stoner as the AR-15. And it was built originally for the Armalite company, so AR, and this was number 7. The original ones weren't as fancy as this. They were pretty basic. They were designed for aircraft survival in Vietnam in particular. Probably more likely Korea was the original intent, but all the same, it is a survival rifle for aircraft. There's a lot of neat little features about this. It's not an amazing rifle by any stretch of the imagination. There's nothing about it that stands out other than its ability to collapse. But this is the newest generation here. Some of the details will start at the barrel, go from the tip. So you got a nice bright orange dovetailed sight so you can drift it back and forth for your windage. Just a little 22 long rifle, nothing too fancy there. This has got a nice plastic coating on the barrel. I think you can get them in stainless steel, but either way, this is the most corrosion resistant. It's getting this coating, which is another reason to pay the little extra 20 bucks or so for a nicely coated barrel. And receiver as well. Like I said, there's the pin for locating it. And your chamber's right in there too, so there you go, chamber. pretty cool stuff. It is semi-automatic. You might have noticed with the charging handle, it is semi-auto. Disassembly on this thing is actually kind of simple. Nothing you really need to do. I personally wouldn't do it in the field simply because parts are a little too easy to get lost. But before, so we were looking at this. You got the handle there that comes in and out. You got your safety, blah, 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 blah. This one is kind of interesting. You do have a rail on top. The earlier ones, up until fairly recently, did not have any way of mounting optics. To be honest, the mounting of the optics is nice if you're going to go plinking, but in a survival situation, you're probably not going to have a optic on hand. And if you do, it should just be something like a red dot. Watch the survival video, you'll see why I explain something just more like if you watch the video, you'll see why I recommend using a red dot over a scope. But doesn't hurt to have a scope on this if you just want to have some fun. All right, got a close up here. So that's the rear peep sight. I'm putting my hand behind it so you can actually rear peep sight. There's another peep down here, a much finer one. And the way you swap them around, this is the only tool you'll need for this rifle is a screwdriver. So when you flip it around, you can adjust elevation. And if you flip it over, you can spin that around. And there you go. Now you got your fine dot up there. You can adjust for elevation. I personally prefer the fine stuff myself, but I haven't really shot this rifle all that much, so I can't give you too much detail. It's 22 long rifle, so you're not going to feel much. It's a nice big butt plate. You're not going to get any recoil. Is it good for kids training? Yeah, it's good for training kids on semi-automatic rifles. Because there's an element of safety involved when you go from something like a single shot to a semi-auto. And this is large enough and light enough that you're going to have good barrel control for something small like a pistol. So moving on, we'll take a look at some details. Magazine well, as we mentioned. That's where the screw goes in the back there for holding the stock in place. There's really not a lot to it. There is a side plate. We'll get into this in just a moment. A single screw right there for the side plate. So we'll set that aside. The stock is actually quite interesting too. Here's the stock. You can see it's got bright orange. I'm not too sure why that's so bright because it's pretty much hidden. I guess you can take it out and wave it around if you're trying to signal an aircraft or something. I don't know, but the cool aspect about this is a waterproof container, so it's going to keep your ammo, your firearm dry, clean, and like I said, it will float. So if you drop it in the water or something like that, it will float. One of the things I like about it's quite durable. You're gonna have a hard time damaging anything inside of this, and I think that's its major benefit is the fact that because it is designed for aircraft survival, it's designed to take a bit of a beating. And to be honest, I think if you had this in your aircraft and you crashed, this would do better than you would. So I would say in that case it's over designed. It does have storage for 2 magazines. One, you can put one in the gun. Of course, you can figure out which way to put them in. That would help. I know that's the way it's... There we go. There you go. Sorry, guys. There you go. So they store like so. Like I said, the receiver goes in here. Barrel goes down there. That's your kit. Some of the other rifles you'll see have designated ammunition holders. But the cool thing about these guys here, you can actually use these little compartments to store your 22s in, and you can get a lot. I think it's something like 60 or something like that. I don't remember the exact count. It's not an official way of storing your ammunition, but it does work. You can put them side by side, blah, blah. So, side by... It flew away. So, anyway, that is the stock. In case you're wondering, these are Last of Us stickers. A little hard to see, but that's the idea. Let's have a look at the receiver, shall we? Here's the receiver. Get that out of the way. Zoom in. So there's a couple ways you can take this apart. Definitely you want the spring tension off. That didn't actually smash anything other than get the bolt out. Push it back a little bit with your thumb. And there's a bit of a cutout like a keyhole. You can see there's a slightly rounder opening. Just pulls out like so. Your bolt will come out the front. You have your dual recoil springs, not captive. Oh, sorry. Dual recoil springs, not captive. Not much to it. You have an extractor. You have the firing pin, which is right here. It's free floated, so it doesn't have any spring to return it. Doesn't need it. It's a simple blowback mechanism. Now, once you get these parts out, what's going to happen is you'll have a little plastic part in here. But I'm not a big fan of being plastic. Oh, it won't come out right now because the hammer's forward. So let's get to the inside, shall we? Screwdriver. So all you need is a screwdriver for this firearm. It is military technically. I say because it's pretty far gone from its military roots, and it's not a firearm you're meant to actually open and service in the field. So there you go. To be honest, cheap, probably some sort of zinc-based metal, but again, it's a well-proven firearm. It doesn't need a lot of anything fancy. So here you have your hammer. It's gone up inside a bit there. And there you have your sear. Your secondary sear, your main sear is down here. There's your magazine relief, a little tiny spring holding that in place. Everything will just lift out. But I don't think I need to show you guys how to pull parts out of here. Right up here is your extractor. Nice thing about all these parts in a true survival situation, most of these parts you can probably just make with a hacksaw and a file. In the end of the world kind of situation. There's your safety. All your safety does is block. It should run over there and block your trigger from being able to rise and fire. So it's a simple, trigger safety, but the sears are attached to the trigger. So it's not like an AR where you can tilt the sear separate from the trigger. That's the inside, and it's really that simple. And I think that's the kind of the genius of this design is it's not overdone, it's not overthought. It's straightforward, it's reliable. It's not an Olympic shooting gun. You're not going to be able to go out and group 1-inch groups at 100 yards. This is truly meant for small game survival, squirrels, small things like that. It's a 22 long rifle, so you guys got a good idea what you can hunt with it. Birds, squirrels, small prey. Just enough to keep you alive while you wait to be rescued. It is not inoffensive, I'm going to run around and be John Rambo and save the world kind of gun. I hope you guys enjoyed this little look. Hope you guys enjoyed this little look at the AR7, or the Henry Survival Rifle as it's known now. It's gone through a couple iterations. This is the most recent one. Like I said, the main features are things like the rail, the coating, and some of the metallurgy has been improved since the original rifles. I would recommend getting one of these if you're camping in bear country or something like that, or even, it's not going to do much for bears or hogs, but it's better to have something like this than nothing at all. If you're a backpacker, it's amazing. It goes right into your backpack. It's discreet. It's really not that intimidating if someone were to see it. They're not thinking you're walking around about to commit some horrible crime with this thing. I think most people will realize its value as a survival weapon. It's also a great thing to have on a boat. If you're going fishing, everyone knows it's kind of easy to get stranded. I haven't done it myself, but I felt like I might at some time. So if you're stuck on a small island or something like that for a couple of days, if you're out backpacking and you get lost, it's a great rifle for something like that. It's also just fun for plinking. Every rifle has its practical purpose, and then most rifles will have a fun purpose. I can't think of one that's not fun to shoot. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Please like, subscribe. Stay tuned for more survival videos. This will be part of one you've already seen. And I will see you guys in the next video. Thank you for watching. Remember to click like and subscribe. To subscribe is really important. You guys have been great. Thank you guys. I'll keep making videos if you keep watching them. Have a great day.